so many people on social media I think people confuse, or I guess use the word friend too loosely. I've seen far too many comments that say things like birds of a feather flock together. You see pictures of Jay Z and Diddy together at events, and people are automatically feeling like that makes them friends. When in my eyes, that just makes them acquaintances. That makes them associates. These are two of the most, like, the cream of the crop, right, of hip hop. The two of the richest in hip hop. Why wouldn't they be running in the same circles?
Turn to the side, let me see. Damn, I think we all could agree. You and your friends, I done counted to a 3. And you looking even better here with me. We don't need no dinner, you the no boo. Tell me where you're from, girl, is your local? Got a couple dollars we could go through. Take a couple trips, yeah, I can show you. Jump in my Impala, get the backseat going. We just let the top down, getting top down, hold it.
That song you just heard is my new joint. It's called Blow a Bag. You can stream it on all streaming platforms. Just search Holliewood Blow a Bag. Add it to your playlist. Send it to your friends if you like what you heard. Appreciate you for listening. Now let's get ready to get into what's hot in these blogs. First up, Hove. We have an update on the Jay Z lawsuit that took the internet by storm a few days ago, where a girl, Jane Doe, is alleging that Jay Z SA her back in 2000, where she was 13 years old, is what she's claiming in this lawsuit. Jay Z immediately denied it. He immediately put out statements, etc. But now we have new developments surrounding it, and it's not looking too good for the girl or the lawyer who filed the lawsuit to begin with. The Jane Doe in question did an interview with NBC News where she's recounting the events, etc. And some things are being considered inconsistencies in her story. One thing in particular is she claims her dad came to pick her up after the incident happened. NBC spoke to the dad where he says that he don't recall doing that at all. He said he will recall such a significant event, driving for 5 hours from Rochester, which is where they lived at the time, to New York City, which is where the VMA was. He said he will recall that, and he just doesn't. So that's one thing. Another thing, she said that she had a conversation with Benji from the group Good Charlotte at the party. And she said they bonded over a tattoo he had on his arm or something like that. Benji's rep came forward and said that Benji and his group wasn't at the VMAs that year. They didn't attend the VMAs after party. In fact, they wasn't even in New York at all. They was on tour in the Midwest. I don't know if this girl like maybe did a deep dive down a rabbit hole of the Diddy lawsuits and made a left turn down conspiracy lane where people were trying to associate Jay Z with it right before bed, fell asleep, had a lucid dream about it, woke up, saw the 1-800-lawyer Buzbee banner on social media, and then decided to call in and make these claims. I'm not sure if that's what happened, but when you have things in your story that's not adding up, is making the whole thing look pretty suspect at the end of the day. The math isn't mathing. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I just know it's not looking too good for her. The lawyer, Buzbee, he himself is saying that her story was vetted by someone else, vetted by another firm, and then given to him. Claims that she was interrogated intensely, but it's like you didn't even do your own due diligence to vet this girl's claims before you filed this lawsuit. And that's not a good look for you as a lawyer. So all I know is if Jay Z is cleared, if when all of the smoke settled, he's cleared, it's proven that this never happened and this lawsuit was filed without actually vetting the claims, I feel Tony Buzbee should be disbarred for doing this. I feel like a lot of his cases that he filed and won needs to be looked at again. And old girl for making these claims should be jailed. That's how I feel. That's how strongly I feel about this, because SA is so serious that if you make up a story about it and it's proven that it's made up, I feel you should go to jail behind it. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 directly to jail. Because when you have claims like this, it ruins people's reputations. Just from the allegations alone, people were calling for the NFL to stop working with Jay Z 2 seconds after this lawsuit hit the media. Things like that, if the NFL, I guess, wasn't ready to really stand by his side, they could have just dropped him just like that off of an allegation, because it's that serious. And companies like to distance themselves from any type of harm or backlash. And because of that, I feel like the repercussions behind it, if it comes out that this never happened, should be just as stern as well. So many people on social media are, I think people confuse, or I guess use the word friend too loosely. I've seen far too many comments that say things like birds of a feather flock together. You see pictures of Jay Z and Diddy together at events, and people are automatically feeling like that makes them friends. When in my eyes, that just makes them acquaintances. That makes them associates. These are two of the most, like, the cream of the crop, right, of hip hop. The two of the richest in hip hop. Why wouldn't they be running in the same circles? Why wouldn't they be attending each other's high profile events, the Rock Nation brunch, the Diddy all white party? Why wouldn't they be at these events? That doesn't mean that they are associated with these freak offs that happen after hours. And a friend would not just solely be at these high profile events. Friends get invited to baby showers, to weddings, to private parties, to the mom birthday parties. You've never seen Diddy at a private, intimate Jay-Z gathering. So I say that to say people need to stop using the term friend like it just is automatic, and understand that you have associates as well. And at the end of the day, this is basically whole being guilty by association as it pertains to this particular case. And it's mainly because there's no evidence of what is being alleged about him by the conspiracy theories, not conspiracy theorists, not even in this particular lawsuit, just in general. When you listen to the Jaguar rights or any other conspiracy theorists out there making claims, it's like, where's the evidence? Where's the corroboration of what you're saying? But people just run with it. Someone said, I think the NFL didn't drop him because Beyonce has a big NFL show coming Christmas Day. Too much money on the line. I think if more comes out on Jay, they may drop him. But if it stops with this case, he's probably good because this case lacks credibility to me. I think we need to get back to the time of innocent until proven guilty. Prior to social media, where, remember, once upon a time, all we had in terms of like gossip and rumors was the tabloids that you would probably see at the register when you're checking out at the supermarket. And it wasn't until it probably hit like a major news network, a CNN or somebody, where you will really be like, oh, this must have some legs to it because CNN is reporting on it. Nowadays, just because CNN reports on it doesn't mean that it's any more valid. And it's because of social media. I had a friend tell me that very thing about, CNN is on all the major networks. So Jay-Z's going down. It's on all the major networks. And I'm like, why wouldn't it be on all the major networks? Jay-Z is a major person. This is major news. This is a major allegation. Why wouldn't it be covered by them? that doesn't make it true. At the end of the day, it's still an allegation only. Regarding Buzbee, Tony Buzbee, the lawyer that filed this lawsuit, I feel like he just got a little too cocky in the system that he's built and the cases that he's won and the people that he's used to dealing with and the outcomes of those cases. I feel like I liken it to someone who's robbing banks, right? And you hitting all these banks up. In this case, legal extortion is what I call it. When you could send someone a demand letter for confidential mediation, or else, I don't know how that's not classified as extortion. It's just legal extortion. So when you have someone that has been successful in doing this, hitting these banks, and they're settling because some of them, they probably just don't want the smoke. They probably just don't even want it may be some truth to what they're being accused of, or they may just be afraid of the backlash and the potential loss of endorsements just because they're attached to a scandal, to where they'll just settle out. But now, I think he just hit the wrong bank this time, potentially. I personally, I have faith, or I guess very high hopes, that Jay Z is vindicated of these claims here. And I just want people to get back to relying on evidence and facts and letting things play out and not being our own worst enemy. Because I feel like there's a lot of us that do that, just excited or just like really looking forward to the downfall of someone. And it's like, can he have the benefit of the doubt just a little bit? But I find that people that are just ready to believe it, I feel like they already it's just some confirmation bias with it. Some of them I feel like just may not like Jay Z, and they just take pleasure in the idea of him going down for whatever reason. A lot of times these lawsuits come out and they're so loud, but when it boils down and there's nothing there, they're dismissed quietly and no one hears about it when it's dismissed. But everyone hears about the allegation. Tony Buzbee said that he is currently still vetting this girl's story. That alone is a problem to me, because you have not only filed this lawsuit, you're in the press about it. And the whole reason, because Jay Z didn't agree to your confidential mediation. That's the only reason why you figure, I bet I'm gonna show you. Because Buzbee knows the ramifications of an allegation like this. He knows how the internet works. That's a problem. That's a big problem. To still be vetting her claims is crazy. You shouldn't be searching for things to corroborate this girl's story now, after the fact. Someone said, agree, should not want his downfall. We should be inspiring. He should be a blueprint on how to make it from humble beginnings. If he turns out to be shady, then we will deal with it. Otherwise, we should wait for the facts to come out. Jay Z released another statement after the NBC News report and the whole thing of holes being in the girl's story and inconsistencies. He said, today's investigative report proves this quote unquote attorney, Buzbee, filed a false complaint against me in a pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. Jay Z's lawyer released a statement. He said, "It is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking the court to dismiss this frivolous case today and will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Buzbee and all the lawyers that filed the complaint." Like I said, I have high hopes that this isn't what they're making it out to be or what they're accusing him of doing. And if what is said about Buzbee is true, I'm looking forward to the curtain being pulled back on him. Oh, another note, by the way, because it was revealed that the girl has autism. I'm finding it super hard to believe that a parent or parents would not be more overprotective of not only their 13-year-old, but their 13-year-old autistic daughter, that she would just be out dolo. If you're gonna like let her be out, I feel like you would have her be out with like a trusted group of friends or something of that nature. What would that say about the parents that they would let their 13-year-old autistic daughter just be out and about 5 hours away from home, trying to get into the VMAs? That's another part that was just like, I don't know. The math just ain't mathing for me. Someone said, I want to know more about her family, wondering if they are highly dysfunctional, maybe an abusive environment. But yeah, that's my take on the matter. We'll see how this plays out in the days to come, but we're going to move on. What else is hot in these blogs? Keeping on the entertainment aspect, Papoose and Remy, another one bites the dust. This one low-key hurt my heart a little bit. I was rooting for them. I think a lot of people was rooting for them. Papoose and Remy, in my eyes, was the epitome of like Black love. I think Papoose even have a song called Black Love. It's in my playlist in rotation. But the story of them, and when Remy went to do her bid and she was away for 8 years and Papoose stood by her. And when she came out, I want to say he even married her in jail, in prison, if I'm not mistaken. Came out, and then the glow up from it and what they built, it was like relationship goals. It wasn't in my bingo card to see Remy and Papoose going back and forth with each other on social media when I woke up the other morning. The first post I seen, soon as I opened my Instagram, was a post from Papoose talking about Remy cheated and she's a narcissist and all of this. And I'm like, wait, hold on. What am I reading? Wipe my eyes out. Like, what is this? What's happening? There's been rumors for a little while now of Remy Ma allegedly cheating with like a battle rapper that she's worked with. There's been talks, but Remy and Pap seem to still have kept it under wraps. It was just that, rumors. You would see them at their daughter's party or certain little events together, but now it has come to a head. Remy's accusing Pap of cheating on her throughout the years, even when he was supposedly holding her down. She claims to have screenshots and all of this. Pap is accusing her of cheating and just being upset at the fact that he's done moved on with someone else. But my thing is to bring this to social media so publicly. And then I find it funny that they delete posts after posting it. Like they're not going to live rent-free forever on social media. It's like, you might as well keep that up because it's going to be there regardless once you posted it out. It's unfortunate to see another Black couple bite the dust in this way, because from outside looking in, they were good. Pap seemed like a solid dude, and I don't know. They're both throwing out allegations. I don't know who's telling the truth about what, but I just know it's unfortunate that it's got to play out so publicly. Papoose is now dating a boxer who her and Remy had some little back and forths online the other morning as well. And the girl Clarissa is her name. I forget her last name. She has challenged Remy to a boxing match. And I'm like, you bringing boxing gloves to a gunfight? Because we all know what. I mean, the girl did 8 years in prison for powing somebody. Like, Remy even talks about it in one of her latest songs. The line said, they say I shot my friend over a band. And imagine what I do to her that I can't stand. Like, what are we talking about here, Clarissa? Gotta stand down. You gotta stand down. Nah, but all jokes aside, I don't know. Hopefully they work it out. They got a 6-year-old daughter. I know a lot of times people in the heat of the moment, they want to run to social media and put people on blast. I don't know if it's like a form of therapy or something, but I've always been opposed of that. I tell my sisters, my nephews, everybody, like, whatever you do, like, don't do that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they work it out. Or we may get a Netflix boxing match between Clarissa and Remy. I don't know what will come of this. You know, everything is about the bag. Somebody may actually propose the idea officially. Crazy. Let's move on, though. Last but not least, let's talk about your boy 45 and how he swindled many of y'all into voting for him off of the idea and the promise of lowering grocery prices. And now he is saying that it's going to be very hard to lower these prices. You know the term F around and find out. I think a lot of y'all are in the finding out stage, and there's more to come for you to find out in the coming weeks. Your mans ain't even haven't even been inaugurated yet. There's more to find out. And I'm just sitting back with the popcorn and laughing at the idiocracy that y'all believed this man had a plan. This man ran on the idea of Biden and Kamala got inflation so crazy. And meanwhile, if you really understand inflation, you would know that inflation is actually down right now. But that doesn't mean that the grocery prices are going to be down. And Kamala Harris, she had a plan to try to get companies, or I guess go after companies for price gouging. But people looking like, nah, I'm tired of paying $4 for eggs or $5 for eggs. We need to get you out of, we need to get y'all out of here. Trump said he's going to lower grocery prices. And it's like, well. What do we have here? Not only that, the prices could potentially go even higher with these tariffs that he's planning to implement. So I'm just here to say, gotcha. Like, because it's hilarious. But speaking of tariffs, moving on to this other part of this situation, there's some fallout that has come behind these proposed tariffs that 45, aka Trump, wants to impose on Canada. And Canada is like, Doug Ford, who is what they call a premier of Ontario. He has issued a warning threatening to cut off energy exports to the United States if Trump follows through on his proposed 25% tariffs on Canadian goods. He made these comments on Wednesday when he had a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He said, we will go to the full extent. Depending on how far this goes, we will go to the extent of cutting off their energy. The proposed tariffs, which are aimed at, they say, curbing migration and drug flow, but they would severely impact Canada's economy. About 60% of crude oil imports and 85% of electricity imports come from Canada, with Ontario alone powering 1.5 million American homes just last year. Doug Ford noted that his province is a key energy supplier to states like Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. I was today years old when I learned that New York is getting their energy from Canada. And they're threatening to cut it off if Trump puts these tariffs in place. Like, forget the grocery prices going higher. Y'all gonna be in the dark behind this, potentially. if it goes that far. Like, this is nuts. They say 2.7 billion in goods cross the border daily from Canada. Your mans don't even understand the implications of, or I guess the ramifications of what the tariffs would mean. And clearly, the ones who supported him and voted for him don't either. Economists warned that new tariffs could dramatically raise costs for U.S. consumers on goods such as food, clothing, and automobiles. Someone said, people are full of ish. Price of eggs are fine. And if people are worried about their money, I wouldn't know it. At the mall, I couldn't find not one park in the parking lot that probably could hold hundreds of cars. FOH. Yeah, like I said, we're in the F around and find out era. They already did the F around part. Now we're going to find out, and we're going to be finding out in the coming weeks and months ahead. And I'll be right here to say I told you so. That's going to conclude what's hot in the blogs for this week. Thank you for watching. If you rock with your boy, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, it's called Holliewood and Friends, which means I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the topics I just discussed. I appreciate you. New episodes every Monday night. Until next time, deuces.